I believe we should talk about this game next. We have the Lions over the Bears, 37-34 in overtime.
Yeah, this was a back-and-forth, high-scoring game. Neither team has a very good defense, although I was surprised by the Lions. I thought last year they had one of the best defenses. Losing Sue proved to be pretty pivotal for
They
this
also
defense.
lost Fairley. I believe Fairley's on the Rams now, maybe.
Yeah, and then losing DeAndre Levy to injury doesn't hurt either. He's their best player on defense, at least in my opinion. They did get him back this week, though. Anyways, the Bears played well. I mean, I give them credit. I thought they played well early on. I thought they would win this game, actually. They didn't. Cutler played all right. Not real well. He threw it 41 times. He had 353 yards, but mainly because he threw it so many times. He did have a touchdown, but just one interception. As for Stafford, good bounce-back game. They benched him last week against the Cardinals. He threw for 405 yards, 4 touchdowns, just that one interception. So a good bounce-back game for Stafford.
Yeah, I definitely say Stafford's performance this week was the performance of the week. Would you agree with that?
Offensively, yes. I think offensively, yeah. Defensively, there's a few other. Yeah, I would say offensively, definitely Stafford.
There was a little bit of a controversy in there when Stafford threw a touchdown to Tate in the end zone. He appeared to lose the ball after he was hit. It looked like it might have been stripped out or something, and the Bears have been arguing about it a little. It looked like it might not have been a catch, but he did get 2 feet down. I don't know exactly. I wasn't watching this game, but it looked like it may not have been a catch. Did you hear anything about that? Or
Yeah, I saw the play. It was really quick. It was just really a fast play. And they rolled it a touchdown because the ball broke the plane. Look, they need to get something going. They need to get some type of consistency with these touchdowns. They have to decide what they're gonna call a touchdown, what they're not gonna call a touchdown, because right now it's fluctuating so much. So there's really nothing. There's no. There's really. I mean, what's a touchdown and what's not a touchdown at this point? So it's like I said, it's too inconsistent at this point what they're calling and what they're not calling a touchdown.
I didn't get too many looks at the play, but one thing I think you could say to keep it a touchdown would be that it wasn't enough to overturn it. If you're saying like evidence-wise, it was like I said, and like you said, it was just a quick play. There really wasn't. They got his feet down, and then the ball just kind of came out. There just wasn't enough to really look at in that play, so they might have just left it for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I mean that basically won them the game. They won 37-34. That's 6 points right there. So hey, it won them the game.
All right, moving on. Houston and Jacksonville, 31-20. Houston somehow finally plays good again.
Yeah, a big part because they were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Blake Bortles continues to struggle. I was on an article the other day, and I saw an idiotic comment from this person saying that they thought Blake Bortles was a better quarterback than Derek Carr. I was pretty much brain blown. Blake Bortles throwing it 53 times. There's only a few quarterbacks in the league who can throw it 53 times and win. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, no longer Peyton Manning, maybe Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees, but certainly not Blake Bortles. He had 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was sacked 3 times, a quarterback rating of 49.4. This Texans defense isn't really that good. J.J. Watt got going. He had a heck of a game. But other than that, man, this team was really... I mean, the defense at least was depleted.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's just been so inconsistent this year. Playing good against Miami, then kind of regressing, you know. When's Jacksonville going to get it in their heads that they need a franchise quarterback and they need a running back? Because those are their 2 weakest positions, and it has haunted them ever since they lost Maurice Jones-Drew and David Garrard.
David Garrard, yeah. Yeah, no, they had some glory days back with now Raiders head coach Jack Del Rio with Garrard and MJD. But you know, hey, they passed on Teddy Bridgewater. I think either one of those quarterbacks could have been a better, no, not could have been, would have been a better solution than Blake Bortles. I think he had the highest upside, they say, quote unquote, in the draft, but definitely, man, so far, at least in my opinion, he has not lived up to expectation.
I mean, my opinion on Bortles is I'd say he's probably the safest pick in the draft. You kind of knew what you were getting. You're getting this quarterback who's just kind of going to be this like starter he's just kind of there. He's nothing spectacular. He's not going to be this guy who's going to manage the game. He's just going to be kind of just steady. Nothing really stands out about him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then just going back to, Central Florida where he played college football at, you don't play a whole lot of good competition, so to speak. And take nothing away from him. They did beat Baylor, and I think the Fiesta Bowl or something like that. That was really his only big win, so to speak, in college at least. But certainly he hasn't transitioned greatly here in the NFL.
All right, we got to move on to our next game, and that's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs falling 10-16 to the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, the Chiefs are in a world of trouble here, and now you start to question what's life without Jamal Charles going to be like. And not good. They only put up 10 points against Minnesota, who, give them credit, they have a good defense and the best safety in the game, in my opinion, Harrison Smith. They have a good front seven as well. Sharif Floyd up there, linebacker out of UCLA, Anthony Barr is playing to a pretty good level. Trey Waynes is starting to come around the cornerback. I believe he had a few passes deflected in that game. So this defense is good, but Kansas City, you got to put up more than 10 points. Certainly, they're not doing a good job offensively. Travis Kelce leads the way for the Chiefs receiving-wise. He had 5 catches, 88 yards. But without the lack of a running game, the Chiefs and Alex Smith is nothing better than your middle of the road quarterback.
Yeah, but give credit to Smith in this game actually. 22 of 37 for 282 and a touchdown, no picks. Pretty good. You can't say the same for Bridgewater. 17 of 31, 249 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. He also had 3 rushes for -5 yards.
Well, yeah, and Bridgewater has taken a step back in his sophomore year. As for Smith, though, yeah, he had good numbers, but the game, it looked mediocre. A lot of checkdowns underneath, something that we're used to. This defense for Minnesota was really the big difference in this game. Alex Smith had no running game, so it was pretty much all him. And look, when they're not going to run the football, this Chiefs team isn't going to win too many games. They're now 1-5.
57 rushing yards for the Chiefs. They need Charles. Without Charles, they don't have an offense.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get DeAnthony Thomas involved. He's running back / receiver, and certainly they should utilize him in the running game more. He only had 1 carry for just 1 yard, though, in that game.
Yep, so we got Washington and the Jets, and now we go to Arizona and Pittsburgh.
Well, this was projected to be one of the best games all season, certainly without Ben Roethlisberger. A little bit different story, but hey, big story in this game. Mike Vick goes down with injury. Landry Jones comes up, straps the helmet on. He's 8 for 12, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a third-string quarterback able to carve up this Arizona defense. Tyrann Mathieu struggled in this game. He gave up, I think, a touchdown. But as for Patrick Peterson, he played well on the opposite side of him. Excuse me, Tyrann Mathieu's a safety. But Arizona offense, Palmer, 2 interceptions. 1 was a heck of a play. I thought he played well, better than the numbers. Yeah, better than the numbers say or indicate rather. He had a couple good clutch throws. Threw it 45 times, man. Chris Johnson only had 40 yards on the day, though. Yeah. So they got to run the ball a little bit better, I think, which they had been doing. But Pittsburgh up front, hey, give them credit. They got some big guys up front, including Cameron Hayward, as well as James Harrison, who never seems to age. So they did a good job for the most part stopping the run and forcing Arizona to drop back and throw the football.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona, Carson Palmer, once again, big day, 39 of 45 for 421 yards. Just the interceptions really bring you down to stats. You should have more touchdowns. And like you said, Landry Jones, this guy's a young quarterback. He comes in, has a good game. He could be what Pittsburgh's looking at as some sort of a future for life after Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger's starting to get up there, but if you're a Steelers fan, you got to be liking that Landry Jones guy after that performance. Yeah. And moving on, I think the biggest thing to look at in this game, you got to look at that red zone efficiency. Look at Arizona's red zone efficiency. 1 for 4, 25% red zone efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, they got in the end zone, especially against the Steelers team who's going to put up points. Now, this is a much different team without Ben Roethlisberger, but they're still able to put up 25 points. And when you have playmakers like Martavius Bryant, who had 137 yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as Le'Veon Bell, who can carry the ball 25 times a game. He carried it for 24 in this game. They're gonna do things on offense. So Arizona has to put up more points than just 13. But I think they're going to be all right. I really do think they'll be all right. Tough game. You're not going to win them all, and at Pittsburgh, that's no easy place to play.
No, playing in Pittsburgh is not easy, and the thing with the Cardinals, you just got to focus on getting the running game more and be more efficient in the red zone. I think they actually did kind of outplay them. They made those mistakes. Guy makes a phenomenal play, pick. Another time you're in the red zone, you just kind of throw one. And,
yes.
And then you have a fumble too. So, Pittsburgh's looking pretty good right now. You're 4-2. You're staying in it without Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger should be coming back soon. So, if you're Pittsburgh right now, you're looking at best case scenario after Big Ben went down.
Yeah, I believe the Steelers are now 2-1 without Roethlisberger.
Yep.